Hello, folks. Ori Spado here, the Accidental Gangster. Okay? Author of the best-selling book being made into a Hollywood movie, The Accidental Gangster. If you haven't gotten yours yet, you can get an autographed copy at my website. Just click the link above. Hey, hello, Kelly, Sherry. Thank you so for coming. Okay, Zaro Farms. Okay? Today, we're hearing a lot on TV about Joe Biden giving his son a pardon. Now, a lot of you folks don't remember exactly who Joe Biden really is. Okay? He was a senator. He's been in the government over almost 50 years of his life. He's a career politician. Now, I never liked him because he wrote the worst crime bill. Now, remember, he wrote the worst crime bill in history in 1991. Bill Clinton signed it. What was in that bill? Minimum mandatory sentencing. He increased the amount of time that you had to do to 85%. They bribed the states with billions of dollars. If they increased their limits to 85%, they would get money. That's what he did. All right? Minimum mandatory. He filled the prisons up like you can't believe. If you look at the chart, 1991, after he did that, okay, the number of blacks and browns, it went straight up, like a rocket ship, okay? Whites went up a little and a few others, but the blacks. And it's the blacks who voted him in office. So you're going to expect the guy not to lie? He wrote the laws, but he can't live by them. They don't pertain to him. It's not that I'm a Trumper, okay? I did vote for Donald Trump, all right? And I'm already feeling good things happening because of Donald Trump. In our country, I see people are more happy now. They're spending more money, all right? People are getting out and doing things. But, I don't like prosecutors. How could I vote for Kamala Harris? She's a prosecutor. You know how many problems I've had, all right, with prosecutors? Several in my lifetime. And why the prosecutor? You understand that most of your congressmen and senators were prosecutors? Being a prosecutor is a stepping stone into politics. Sally, how are you? Sally Collin joined. My friend Sally. Felon? Let me tell you, I'm a felon. I've been a felon most of my life. Okay? Nothing wrong with felons. Who's a felon? Donald Trump is not a felon yet. He has not been sentenced. So until he's sentenced, he's not a felon. So get your facts right. And I want to talk to you a little bit about prosecutors. Okay? Let's talk about Alvin Bragg in New York. You want to bring that situation up in New York. Look at Alvin Bragg on this case with this guy, what's his name, Penny? Okay? Where they just dropped the manslaughter, okay, and now it's less. This guy should not even be being in trial. Why did Alvin bring charges against him? Why did Alvin bring Trump? That case he brought against Trump should have never happened. Would not have happened anywhere else but Alvin Bragg. I don't want to say nothing. Okay, I have my feelings, but I think Alvin Bragg and what's the girl's name? Reed on MSNBC, they make a beautiful couple, okay, because they think alike. Yeah. What's her name? Well, I forgot her name. What the hell's her name? Somebody give me her name. That Reed girl. Damn, I forget. Senior moment, folks. We all have senior moments. It happens when you get older. All right? Nancy, hi. Mary Bell. So, folks, why would I vote for a prosecutor? Why would I vote for Joe Biden, who wrote the worst crime bill in history? I didn't. And I'm a felon. And if you don't like felons, then leave this room right now. Okay? Hello from the Philippines. Thank you for joining us. You know, folks, I'm doing these live things more and more. You're going to see more of me. Anybody who would like to talk about, she's a prosecutor, Dakota. Okay? She put people in jail. She put her own kind in jail for marijuana charges. Okay? Marijuana. All right? Her and Joe Biden. That's why they were president and vice president, because they thought alike. Let's put everybody in jail. But the laws only work for the other people. They don't work for Joe Biden. Mexicali, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. So, folks, obviously, I get annoyed with this thing, okay? And prosecutors who making laws, but the laws don't pertain to them. So, what? Hey, Mike, how are you? So why should we got to live within the laws. Yes, I've broken laws in my life, okay? I'm going to admit that there. You can read about the laws I broke right here in this book. But you can read about the good things I've done, too. Because, felons like myself, we take care of people. We help people. We go above and beyond that anybody else does to help people. I'm from New York, Dakota, originally. I live in Beverly Hills, California now, where I've been living for almost 50 years of my life. Hello, Trailer, thank you. Innocent until proven guilty. No, that's where you're wrong. That's where they got you, your mindset to think. You are guilty until you could prove yourself innocent. And in the federal government, in 1970, I want to say 71, it could be off a year or two, Richard Nixon signed the RICO bill, RICO, Racketeering Influence Corrupt Organization. He signed that into law. Why did he sign it into law? He signed it into law thinking it would help stop the drugs from coming in this country. As we know, that did not work. Yeah, you're correct. It didn't work, right? But what was in that bill? What was in that bill was it gave the FBI and the U.S. Attorney the ability to lie and get away with it. And they lie. They lie and they get away with it. I'll tell you, for example, on my last arrest, my last indictment with the Colombo crime family, okay, I was arrested at my home here in Beverly Hills. They bring me to MDC Los Angeles. I wait underneath the courthouse all day long, 3:30. Now, I had my lawyer from here My son and my bail bondsman were all there. I figured I was going to get bond very easily. Guess what? The U.S. attorney steps in. And they say, Mr. Spado has outstanding warrants. He should not be given bail, Your Honor. The judge said, who's a magistrate? Okay, so let's not say judge, a magistrate. The same thing as a judge. I said, I don't have them. I can't prove I don't have them. My lawyer looks at me. He says, I thought I handled everything for you. I said, Danny, you handle everything. The last thing I had, I said, was throwing a cigarette butt out the window. Yeah, I got a ticket for it. Danny handled it for me. He handled everything, my lawyer. I had no warrants for nothing. So I agreed to a speedy extradition to get me to New York. And I got it. It was a week later, they flew me out, all right, on Con Air to New York. And now I go in front of the judge in New York for my arraignment, and I asked for bail. The U.S. attorney gets up. Yeah, the U.S. attorney gets up. He said, Your Honor, we would like to apologize to the court and to Mr. Spado. All right, we thought Mr. Spado had warrants, but he does not. When his name was Ryan, a different person came up, and those warrants were on Mr. Spado's record, but he does not have any warrants. But he should not be given bail because he's a violent individual, and they bring up all this other shit. And of course, I didn't get bail again. And I went through 4 bail hearings, and I was in the same Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where Diddy is now. Okay, so I know about bail hearings. I know how the system works. The system works for them. You are guilty until you could prove yourself innocent. Okay? Now, you know how many years you get on a RICO charge? Let's say you got murdered. Let's take my indictment. I was there with 14 Colombo family members. Okay? So we all got indicted together. 14 of us. Some of them had murder charges. My friends who had the murder charges went to trial. The jury found them not guilty of the murder charges. You think that's good enough? Not guilty. They should be released. No. The jury found them guilty of the RICO. Now, one of my friends had 1 RICO charge. My other friend had 5 RICO charges. You know what a RICO is? RICO's up to 20 years in prison. Yeah, up to 20 for each one. The one who had 1 RICO charge, the judge gave him 17 years. The one who had 5, he could have gotten 100, but he was talking to somebody in prison who was wearing a wire, and this guy said, I'll do 30 years standing on my head. The judge told him, try 50. He got 50 years. 50 years on RICO. You see, when the judges give jury instructions, they do not tell the jury how much time on the charges that the defendant is facing. They don't know this. So that in their minds, they said, they didn't do the murder charges. We weren't convinced there. Let's give them a lesser charge. They think the RICO's less. All right? That's why the RICO is illegal and unconstitutional. All right? Now, in my case, I had a 924C gun charge. When the judge sentenced me to 62 months, and I signed the plea deal for 97 months. I was going to be happy with 97 months. But the judge gave me 2 months on a robbery, 60 days. And then he said, Mr. Spado, on the 924C gun charge, my hands, and he went like this, my hands are tied by Congress. I had to give you 60 months. That's the minimum mandatory. That's what Congress did because of Joe Biden's crime bill. I don't know why Donald Trump is not talking more about what Joe Biden did with this worst crime bill. Now, he lied. He said he wasn't going to pardon his son. But he did. I knew he was lying when he said it. But the guy has got no moral compass at all, Joe Biden. No moral compass at all. Cares about nobody but Joe Biden. Remember, he was the guy that after he left office with Obama, he was broke. He didn't have money. Remember he couldn't pay for his house? And Obama offered him the money? Remember that? See, folks, I don't forget anything. No, he didn't take the money from Obama. But all of a sudden, he's worth multi-millions of dollars, and he's got a home in Delaware, a home here on the ocean, okay? Why? Why's all this happen? Why? Where'd all that money come from? Now, if the guy had any moral compass at all, he would have pardoned Donald Trump when he pardoned his son. All these people wouldn't be complaining as much as they are. Okay? But now he wants to give Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff is our senator here. I didn't vote for him either. Okay? I voted for Garvey. Unfortunately, there's no place to get the news there, Laura, all right? Okay? I'm reminding people what happened, but they can't, the news is, what you're getting on mainstream media on television is not news like it was in the days that I grew up. You don't have those newscasters. They are pundits. They're being paid millions of dollars, okay? And, I was the first person that said MSNBC is lies. Yeah, I was the first one. And they had intense hate for Donald Trump. If there's not much difference between hate and love. All right, check it out. See if I'm right, okay? All right? Thank you, Laura. I appreciate you, honey. I hope they close down MSNBC. I hope they go shut it right down. All right, those people made millions of dollars to lie and instill hate in the American people, okay? At a time when we need hope, all right? Give the people some promises, give them something to live off, to lift their spirits. No, they got to bring them down with the intense hate and divide the country. It was the news media that brought the division of this country down. My first indictment, you can read about it in my book. My very first indictment, okay, was in Syracuse Federal Court. The prosecutor was Paula Ryan. Now, I'm going to tell you about prosecutors, especially women. They have an intense. I was the only. It was just me. I was the only one indicted. Nobody else. But what an intense hate that she had for me, and looking to put me away for 20, 25 years. It was my first arrest. It was okay. So I had no criminal record. I'm lucky I got 5 years probation on that there. Very lucky. But I'll tell you, when my indictment came down in Brooklyn, once again, it was a female prosecutor, Elizabeth Geddes. Look her up. She's also the prosecutor that brought down R. Kelly. R. Kelly? All right. I heard that name there. Okay, do I know him? I can't remember ever meeting him. Anthony Caruna. All right, now he's saying bad things about me. Okay, because I said I don't know this kid. All right. If I don't know somebody, why you gotta hate me for? But that's the way he is. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Why'd you bring that up? What's your name? The real DJ. Alright. Well, folks, I hope you learned a little bit about jury instructions today. You learned about prosecutors. My recommendation, do not vote for any prosecutors. When I vote, I go through and I see what the former, if they're a prosecutor, they're not getting my vote. And guess what happened after I got out of prison? And now when I got out of prison, I had 4 years supervised release. Very stringent. I was, the pandemic came, it didn't bother me at all. Because I was basically under home confinement on my 4 years of supervised release. So it didn't bother me, the pandemic. Okay? Because I was used to staying home. But the U.S. Supreme Court came out with a ruling that the 924C gun charge is illegal and unconstitutional and shall be taken off everybody's record. Guys who were in prison with that charge got released. Guys who had on their record got it off their record. Guess who didn't get it off their record? Yours truly, Ori Spado. Let me tell you the story. I heard about it. My friend, my co-defendant, who was still in prison, got it taken off his record. He says, you got to write the judge. And I wrote my judge, Brian Colgan. Okay? I wrote him a letter that I heard about this. It should be taken off my record. I don't hear nothing from him. A month later, I'm getting my mail at my mailroom downstairs. And I got a FedEx from the U.S. Attorney's Office out of Brooklyn. I open it up. First page says, Mr. Spado's charge should be dismissed. I'm happy as shit. I take the elevator up. I come to my apartment. I sit down. It was 5 pages. I get to page 4. It says, in the event that Mr. Spado's charge is taken off his record, we hereby bring back charges 1 and 13 of the indictment. 1 was the RICO, 13 was cocaine distribution, of which I was facing life in prison. I said, what the fuck? How could they do this? I started doing my research. I write the judge a letter back. I said, I wrote that without without a lawyer. I wrote that letter on my own. What's he do? He assigns a lawyer to me. I get a call from a lawyer out of New York. Yeah, Mr. Spado, I'm representing you. look, you don't have to worry. You got to be in court in Brooklyn on February 4th or 14th or something like that. I said, oh, hold up here. First of all, I'm not coming back to New York, all right, for anything. And I'm especially not walking in that courtroom, because I know if I walk in that courtroom, okay, the cuffs are going to go on and they're going to process me in, all right, and I'm going to be in prison again, okay? I says, how could this possibly be? I said, those charges they want to bring back, the statute of limitations has passed not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times. Well, Mr. Spado, they could do this, they could do that, but don't worry, I'm going to take care of it for you. I'll call the prosecutor, Elizabeth. I get it. I said, do not call her. I said, I want this whole thing dropped. Forget about it. I could live with that there till the rest of my life, I said. It's no big deal. Guess what the lawyer does? He calls Elizabeth Getty, and he comes back. He says, nah, look, we'll get you a different deal. You completed this, and all right, and I would have had to go back on supervised release, and it was a whole mess. And I wrote them. I told them, I said, get this fucking case dropped, all right? I don't want the thing off my record. Leave everything as is. And that's how it is. So I still have the 924C charge on my record, even though the U.S. Supreme Court found it illegal and unconstitutional. So folks, don't tell me that you're innocent until proven guilty. Stop believing the nonsense. I've been in prison with many guys. We know it's not true. And until you're arrested and indicted, okay, you don't understand. But take it for somebody who's been through the system, knows it, studied it. So I wanted to share that with you folks today, okay? I want to thank you all for coming. It's Sunday. I bet a lot of you probably want to watch football games today. I think I'm going to take a walk. The sun is shining. All right, I'm going to go take a walk. What do you think? Folks, once again, I'm going to ask you, my book makes an awesome, awesome Christmas gift for that special person in your life, or a family member, or a friend. So, you want to fill the stockings with something? Please purchase my book. All right, it's available. Just click the link on my website. All right, bring you right to it. I'll write you something nice. Thank you, folks. Have a beautiful, blessed Sunday. God bless, and as usual, all my love and respect to you all. Thank you.